So if we can't see the bigger picture because we're caught in analysis, and I'm not saying that there isn't a place for analysis, because analysis exists within the field of knowledge, and it's important to analyze things to gain a deeper understanding of something. Then we can apply it. That exists within the field of knowledge, and like one said, the field of knowledge is essential. But the question arises when we're analyzing is, who is the analyzer? The analyzer is the analyzed. I want to repeat that one more time. The analyzer is the analyzed. The analyzer is just another fragment of thought. The thinker is the thought. Are we together in that? Can we see that? Because if we can see that the thinker is the thought, the analyzer is the analyzed, just other fragments of thought. Many people can come to the precipice of this. They can come to the edge of this and see it. But upon upon seeing this, fear can take over. Because the very insight, the very perception of that, the me is over. The self is over. The entity that divides itself from the world is over. And a quality of mind and a quality of thought that doesn't exist in separation, that doesn't see things as separate from oneself. That's what one is trying to talk into, is if we're following each other, we come to this brink, we come to this point, and we can see the chaos that's right in front of our face. Everything one has stated throughout this video, we see all that chaos. And we see all that chaos is thought, and the fragmentary nature of thought. And we see that that thought itself is the central character. The I, the ego, the me, that has built up a story around itself, that has built up an image around itself, that does not want to let it go. And with that heavy, dense burden of the self, it's very hard to see beauty. It's very hard to see love. People talk about it endlessly. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love this. I love that. I love him. I love her. Love, 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 love. This is beautiful. That's beautiful. But it's not actual love. Many people have glimpses of true beauty, of true love, and it's there and then it's gone. Because the beauty arises, the love arises, and then it's gone because the personal story takes back over. And it's driving. And we are conditioned to live in this way, in this state. And this control system seeks to pull us into that. It seeks for us to have an enormous sense of self, which is where we're at today. It's very easy to look out and see that. But many people don't want to see inside because the outside is the inside. And it's easy to point fingers and judge and blame and say this person is that, this person's that way, that person's that way. But you are that person. So upon realization of the content of our consciousness, and upon that realization, the emptying of all of that, beauty, which is not in the object, love, which is not in any object, it's like a flowing river, a mist that is there. Beauty is there. Love is there. But this dense, selfish character can never see it, can never hold it. It can talk endlessly about it, but that love, which many people talk about, has a relationship to hate. And love is not the opposite of hate. And beauty is not the opposite of something ugly. Beauty is beauty. Love is love. It is there. And when this dense psychological character begins to dissolve, the enormous river, which is beauty, the enormous river of love, begins to flow through you. Because there's this incredible emptiness that one feels. Totally empty, but yet totally full. This is what people like Eckhart Tolle, and if people remember, James Corbin and I had a conversation about what this conspiracy attempts to do is to basically nullify our humanity, which is the space between stimulus and response. Space. Emptiness. The emptying of form. This form, all the forms that I think make me up, my house, my car, my job, my income, my bank account, it's not there. That space is formless. Are people ready to take this journey and to see that? Because we are at such a critical point in human history that if there isn't a radical transformation from within, well, the future is now. And if we understand what is now, that is the future. So upon realizing this chaos, realizing this massive river of the content of our consciousness and how it makes up who we think we are, that realization of it, there can and there will be an instant transformation in some people. And they say, my God, why would I continue going this way when clearly it's in the opposite direction? So when we talk about space and we talk about emptiness, it is the emptying of the content of all of our consciousness and being able to wake up every morning with a fresh and new mind. A mind that hasn't registered things. A mind that can look at knowledge, use it and apply it where it's necessary, and then leave it. Doesn't need conclusions. It doesn't need theories. It doesn't need ideologies. It doesn't need religions. It doesn't need gurus. It doesn't need saviors. It doesn't need a book of God telling you what to do, how to act, who to sleep with, whatever. The only book that we truly need to read is the book of ourselves. And if we read the book of ourselves, all other books can be placed aside. No more, no. We will not be controlled anymore. We will not be manipulated anymore. We will not be divided anymore. It's over. Because the manipulation of our unconscious minds or of our minds, whatever way you want to phrase it, creates division. And this division amongst ourselves spills out into society. And when people are divided, when people don't see that they're a part of a whole, the power structure will always win. But the moment people realize that we are one, we are a whole, and that transformation happens within, and then there is a everyday action, an everyday occurrence in your life, one movement, one whole movement, then the world will change. Because your world will change. And you're the world, and the world is you. Again, I'm not saying that as some sort of intellectual or philosophical statement. That is a fact, if you actually care to look into it. So, the flowering of beauty is possible in the face of chaos. If one is really serious about inquiring into the chaos. If one is serious into inquiring into oneself. That flowering of beauty is so marvelous. And it doesn't need to be spoken of. But this planet, this reality, this present moment is so incredible, so beautiful, that words really cannot describe it. Cannot understand it through the field of knowledge. You can't experience it, extract that experience, create a memory about it, and then say, this is what people need to try and experience, this is what we need to get to. That is an illusion, a lie, and a lot of spirituality and spiritual teachers propound notions like that. Because the experiencer is the experience. The observer is the observed. The analyzer is the analyzed. Gosh, I hope people can actually see this. It's a beautiful thing. So, the flowering of beauty in the face of chaos is possible. It is possible. Then regardless of the situation that we find ourselves in, there's no positive, there's no negative. There is just what is. You can look and you can see what is going on around you. You can see what's going on inside of you without any sort of filter. You're just looking. A choiceless awareness. But then a lot of us have been trained to, we need to control fear, we need to suppress it, we need to suppress our emotions, control of our emotions. Again, the controller is the controlled. The controller is just another fragment of thought, trying to control other fragments of thought. So you go round and round and round in circles. Conflict, 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 conflict. Division, 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 division. A never-ending cycle. We can see that clearly throughout human history, with all the wars and all the nonsense that has taken place. So this can be an amazing time for humanity to wake up. Because beauty is there. It is right there. Love is right there. If we allow it in our lives. And that space is realized, that emptiness, which is so vast, because this universe is so vast. I hope people can see this. Anyways, I think that'll be enough for today. really hope people can see that the flowering of beauty in the face of chaos is possible. We all have the capacity to see this. Like one has said, we don't need a book, a spiritual leader, gurus, religions, saviors, any of that ridiculous nonsense, ideologies, none of it. People will say, well, how do I act if this happens or this happens or this happens? Again, trying to plan out the future. The honest question is, you don't know how to act until it actually happens. And then intelligence takes over. And you will act appropriately. Not according to some preconceived plan or notion or ideology. Action can take place. The next video one will go into will be about action. And what is action in relation to all of this? What is action without the self? Because many people are lost without the self. Many people can come to the brink of this, and like one has said, tremendous fear will arise, because that's death, the death of the self. And the self does not want to die. That's pretty clear. Just look at everyone that has locked themselves in their house and is shuddering, screaming at people from rooftops to get inside, calling snitch lines, all out of self-preservation. So we will go into what is action. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. One wishes you all the best, and hope that you can be with yourself, face yourself, read the book of yourself, and discover that insight. So take care, everybody. We'll be talking again really soon. Thank you, and good day.